Oh, well, see if I can do this. I'm gonna have to do it at this angle. This was me, 16 years old. I just got my driver's license. That was my first vehicle. 4-wheel drive Scottsdale Chevrolet. Two-tone paint. 1983 Chevy. See if it's summer of 2000, 1983 Chevy Scottsdale. I think this might have been when I had my permit. Yeah, this is when I had my permit and I was learning to drive this thing. It was an automatic. But that's what it looked like from the front. I just got through eating, so my throat's a little... But yeah, man, I thought I was bad stuff back then with that truck, man. I was like, yeah, buddy. Country boy can survive. I lived like Hank Williams Jr. in that song. Country boy can survive by Hank Williams Jr. That's the life I lived, and that's what I live now. Except I don't have my 4-wheel drive anymore. Of course, with inflation and gas, you can imagine. All stopped. Even notice the bumper here is all rusted. We had painted that later on. I had painted that bumper like a rust color. And these were the stock wheels and tires that came with it when we bought it. I mean, you can see me in my face. I really didn't like the truck because I was like, look at the color, man. I was thinking this thing would be like a pretty paint job and lifted and chrome wheels and, you know, all done up. And then I see this thing sitting there. I'm like, whose truck is that? But then it started to wear on me. I mean, it wasn't too long after that I started, you know, gears started turning in your head and everything. Like, man, maybe I can fix this thing up. Make this thing look like a big, bad mud truck or something, you know? I started, you know, when you this age, yeah, you start thinking. Your mind starts, you know, playing around with ideas and, yay, let's put a bigger carburetor on it. Let's do the motor up. Let's, you know, lift it up, put some tires on it and wheels, and etc., etc. So, 16, 17 years old right here. Bleeding the brakes. We got the carburetor put on. Went to AutoZone to get me an air filter for it and everything. And we were back when I was learning how to work on small block Chevrolets and what everything was on your engine. And I had a picture of the engine somewhere where I took it from up here with a snap camera like I got here, but I cannot find that. A lot of pictures throughout the years I have lost, but a lot of the main ones I have kept. And I did have Flowmaster on there at one time, but then I took them off and ran them glass packs, and that's why I still run glass packs today. Once I did that, it was like I was in love with that sound. And this was 5-inch tips, but then this is when I cut them off from running this way and I ran them out the back. Don't never do them like that. Don't I mean, big tips like this, they deserve to be ran out back here behind the back tire, like I got on my truck right now. But yeah, there's the picture. We'll get to that in a minute. But see how far they were sticking out, you know. And of course, I painted the bumper at this point, and wheels and tires, and a roll bar and CB antenna, and then my grandpa's truck is right there. That's that blue truck that you see on my YouTube channel. That was the original paint job. We can't really see it. My big old jacked up truck is blocking the view there. We homemade the roll bar, and I had a brush guard, a bull guard on the front, like a bumper guard on the front. We home built that thing in the shop. Get these pictures turned around here. Had a big old dirt hill in behind the house where I used to live, and I had the idea one day. I put this thing 4 low. I think I can climb that hill with these all-terrain tires, which I had on it at the time. Of course, this was only a 4-inch lift before I went to the 5-inch. We gave it a little bit more because we went from 32s to 33s or 35s or something like that. But the tire, the ones I'm about to show you here in a little while, they were 35s. But this is turn it this way. That was a senior portrait right here. 2003. This is I was 18 years old. Still looking the same truck, except I had them big tires on there now. I still kept the same wheels. I kept them clean and polished them, and put turtle wax chrome polish on my chrome hubs right down here inside the wheel. Everything chrome, even the side mirrors, everything. I wanted that truck. I even put turtle wax, what's that, or some kind of paint polish your paint job. Man, I buffed. I mean, this was hand buffed. This was hand job done. I didn't have a machine to do this for me, man. I got out there and I worked on that paint job to get it shining. And that's the best I could get it done, with some wax for my senior portrait. And then I got my class ring on right there. Yeah, I was a good looking dude back then, man. With a bad looking truck. This was when we still had the 4-inch lift on it, but then had the 35s, except I had some tire rubs, so that's when we had to go bigger, especially in the front. But I didn't have it squatted. It was leveled out, not like what you see on these you don't see these trucks today like this, unless where you see these boys with the back end is all the way down here and the front's all the way up here somewhere. That ain't the way you have a truck lifted. And that's why we're getting to where it's going to be illegal to even lift the truck at all. Even if I did have 4-wheel drive, this is what I want it to look like. It'd be illegal to have your truck looking like big, bad to the bone like that. And that's that front bumper bull guard I was talking about. Me and my daddy hand built this thing. He welded it together, and so did the roll bar. Back here in this other picture there, you see it painted. And we painted it white because he went and bought me the tires and wheels. And I wanted to be like everybody else. I wanted chrome wheels. This was what the thing was back in my day when I was a teenager, was chrome wheels. Now, back in his day, my daddy's day, this was the style that was going on. He said it's better to, it would look better for the truck to make it look old school from the 80s and the 70s. So with white wheels, they did run those. You see those on YouTube videos of old monster trucks back in the 80s. They had white wheels on the big monster trucks. And I was a big fan of Bigfoot at the time. And of course, you know, that was the most famous monster truck of the time when I was a little boy. So I always wanted me some. And those were them tires. Some of you old school guys will know what them tires are. Those are groundhogs. The real groundhogs. Boy, they would eat through some kind of mud. I mean, they would eat it up. There it is with them 5-inch tips right there. Of course, this is all with the 4-inch lift, but I had them 35. There it is with a 5-inch lift. That's when this is Dale County High School 2003 homecoming parade. We were all, you know, outside, you know. But somebody, I guess my mom was, you know, this, you know, homecoming 2003, the year I was in high school still. And I knew what the day was, you know, in this picture. And I was like, okay, I want to park my truck out here so everybody that rides around in the parade can see this big bad truck sitting out here. Then there's the football field in the back. That's the home side where the announcer is. I think everything's going to be changed here pretty soon. It ain't going to look the way it did when I was there. Of course, you can see some of the cars that people would drive back then compared to me. Of course, you just saw a while ago, it didn't look like that when I got it. Had to put a lot of labor into lifting these tires up and putting these tires on the truck. They were very heavy. I got 2 more over here before I get to the grand finale. Okay, this was with the 5-inch lift. You can see a little bit more spacing in between these fenders. So yeah, it did give a big difference. And then I went with some 3.5-inch tips, like I just cut off of my truck here, my Silverado that I have now. I had 3.5-inch tips on it, and I have just now went to 5-inch, which I'm going to stay with because this is what my cousins, this was my truck. But me and my cousins, and okay, back in the day when we were in high school and all, and we were, you know, of our age of 16, 17, 18 years old, 19, back then, this was the early 2000s, from 2003 or older to the year 2000. And a little bit beyond that, 5-inch tips were the biggest tips that you could get. They didn't make nothing bigger than that back then. Today they do, of course, you know, and of course teenagers now are going to do it. They're going to go and put them big 7s and 8s and 9s and 10s on. That was my cousin Kurt. This is the truck he had. His truck, I really like that truck. I wish he kept that thing, man, and just did a restoration on it and stuff. But that was a pretty truck to me. I really liked it. I like riding in it. He ran true duals with a straight pipe. No muffler, no nothing. Just straight pipe, true dual, stock engine. Just stock engine. Only mod of the exhaust was true duals, no muffler, no nothing, no cat, no nothing, just true dual straight pipe into some 5-inch tips, as you can see here, coming at the same angle as mine, which I'll show in a minute on a picture I really liked of my truck. So I took it and I blew it up and got it bigger, and I framed it. I put it in a frame. So there it is right there, and I put it into a frame. I just heard somebody crank up. We're telling story time here about loud pipes and stuff. This is when I had the truck, other than mechanical, mechanical wise, racing headers, it was done. The truck was, other than a paint job, I wanted it to get painted so bad, and it was straight headers through some pipe, no cat, no nothing, true dual into some 12-inch cherry bomb glass pack that was about right here, instead of what they put them back here now, but they were right up in here somewhere. And then they, 2 1/4 pipe ran over to some 5-inch tips, chrome. Of course, this picture ain't 1080p because we didn't have 1080p back in my day. This was the best you could get for the best quality. But that was the best side view picture of my truck, because you could see the bumper, and of course I had a rebel flag tag on the front like you saw before here, and the homemade, you could see the roll bar didn't quite add up. We were a few inches off on that right there. So, but still, I rocked it for a little while. I drove around with it. It looked real big bad. Had me some KC fog lights up here, like the old school monster trucks and mud trucks of the time period. And I had that big CB whip. Of course, I had me a CB in it. And my cousin, he had a CB too. Right there, he had his laid back, stainless steel, and I had a fiberglass one. And we would talk on them CBs from the house, or wherever we were going. We could reach out there a good 20 miles or so. Of course, the CBs we had back then could really punch way out there. I live north of Newton now, and this was over near the airport. But well, yeah, that's it, man. That's my little story time. My old truck and my cousin's truck that I had a picture of. He had 5-inch tips, and I had 5-inch tips. But we all ran 5-inch tips. I had other cousins in the truck, or their trucks, but I don't got no pictures of them. But everybody in my family of my cousins, they that is 7-inch tips with straight pipes. Well, that's all I got. We at the end. This is the last picture. Happened to find that in my room somewhere in a drawer. It was stuck in the back of the drawer. Along with these pictures, I was like, I know I got some pictures somewhere that I could show a good storyline of my teenage years and what I used to drive back in high school, and went to them mud bogs and all them kind of things like that, which they still do today, somewhere out there in Abbeville, mud bogging. But back in my day, it was like real mud bogs. I mean, a deep dugout hole that when you hit that thing, your truck goes down. I can still hear him. He's out that way, going up the road. God, dog, that truck's loud. So was mine, but not quite that loud. Now, put all this back together. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's what this channel is about, the good old country boy life. And it's also on Facebook with the same name, with the same picture that you see as my icon picture and everything. And it's a more like a group on Facebook, which you can post pictures of your truck, your progress of what you're doing, and what plans you got to do with yours and everything. I may even give you a thumbs up on there. See, there on that platform, I can be more everybody that's in the Facebook group can be more active, more like social. You know, post a picture of your truck right there on Facebook, whatever you're driving, man. It's right there on Facebook. Backwoods 334, all capital letters. The same picture you see on my YouTube channel is the same that you're going to see if you search it up on Facebook. You just type the YouTube channel name, and it's going to be under a public group. So it's so easy to find. If you know this channel, you'll know the Facebook. I'll post pictures of this truck that I got here, the Silverado, and the big 5-inch tips that I just got put on today. And I'm fixing to put some chrome polish on them and polish them up. But hope you guys liked the video. Please like and subscribe if you like it. Feel free to do so. It really helped me out get my channel bigger. Like like everybody out there on YouTube like to get their channel bigger, but mine, I like to get it bigger because one day, if I can get big enough on YouTube, and if I'm still in good enough health, I would like to get me another truck that looked like that right there, 4-wheel drive with some big tires, and then it will be the icon of the channel. It'd be the eye candy for the channel of me doing whatever on it and going places with it. Probably going to some car shows, get me more active in the car show thing, car and truck shows around the Wiregrass area, because I have something worth showing. A 2004 Chevrolet Silverado, you see these trucks every single day. Almost. They're very common, so it ain't like you don't see something you see every day. You don't want to see that at a car show. You want to see something like that. Classic trucks like what we used to drive. I would love to have me another one. I just don't got the budget to get it. Of course, you see, me and my cousin, though, we sure did take care of our trucks, man. We loved them. We washed them, polished them. I put chrome polish on the chrome bumper. Everything. I could just talk for hours and hours about this truck, man, and all the stuff. I got a lot of memories right there. A lot of memories right there. A lot of them. That right there took me back, man. But yeah, like and subscribe. backwoods life, man. Right here. That's it. Country Boy Can't Survive from Hank Williams Jr. Just live your life like the lyrics of that song. Live back in the woods, you see. And it's quiet. Nobody come out here messing with you. If they do, that's why we got a Second Amendment, which we will exercise properly out here if anything comes around. That's why nobody come mess with me. But I'm gonna put this back in, put this up. I'm gonna keep this where I know where I can get to it later on if I need to. And I'll try to find some more pictures if I do find some more pictures of some of the other cars, like a race car I used to have. I might do a little story time on that, because it's got a lot to do with my grandpa. But until then, that's another story for another time. Catch y'all guys later.